What's up, everybody? Welcome to BioWest 3 Raw TV. Let's fix this fucking camera angle, make that shit square. Alright, cool. So let's have a talk today, guys. Something that's kind of, I don't want to say alarming to me, but I feel like it's should be addressed here on YouTube is these different channels that are providing breakdowns and understanding of pros' cycles, right? Gear cycles. And, you know, I'm not saying that they're not being truthful with what the pro is taking, because now a lot of people talk about it openly online. I want to point out the fact that I was one of the original people on YouTube, period, ever, that was actually talking about that stuff. And I put out educational videos about certain gear supplements. You got to use certain terms and stuff. And one of mine, which is clenbuterol, is my highest ranking video right now. I made it years ago. It's been used in the Canadian news media. They used it up there inside of a TV show. It's been viewed so many times that, you know, it's an educational thing, but it just shows you that out of everything that I've done, people really want to know about the drugs most. They want drama and drugs. That's pretty much where it's at. So kind of continuing with that whole genre, people that want views and clicks, that's what they know. Drugs and drama. If they do those two, then there are channels out there that basically it's all they do. It's really not educational, it's drugs and drama. Now, let me kind of put this out there. So this new trend that's going on, they basically take a pro's cycle and they break down all the drugs and explain, you know, this one does this and it makes sense because of this and all this stuff. And I'm sitting here thinking to myself, like, first of all, 99% of the people that are using gear don't understand what it does. They just take certain things and their body reacts to it. Now, the basics are, and it doesn't get much more complicated than this. And this is not me telling you what to do. This is being real with you guys. You guys want real, this is real. Alright, this is informational purposes only. This is for entertainment value. This is not medical advice. I'm not a doctor. I'm not telling you to do this. What I'm telling you is over the years, the things that I've seen, being around the people I've been around, this is how it works. You have a androgen injectable, an anabolic injectable, an androgen pill, and an anabolic pill. That's it. That's how that's how they create their cycles. There's no more thought into, like, well, this one does this with the body. They don't. They go, okay, we got these 4 different things. We're going to take those 4 different things to get 4 different effects in the body, to compound them together and get the most out of it. Done. When the body maxes out, they throw growth hormone in there. When the body maxes out with the growth hormone and the other gear, they throw in insulin. That's how it works. It's not this meticulously planned out, plotted, like, chess game that you guys think it is. It's just not. Matter of fact, most of these pros and the top guys that are really big, that have put on a lot of muscle, if you ask them how many milligrams, they don't even really know how many milligrams. They'll tell you how many cc's they took, but not how many milligrams. And most of them are taking this underground bullshit gear. They don't even know how many milligrams are in it. So, you know, there's all these guys, well, this many milligrams, that many milligrams. And I'm like, you guys that are saying all these milligrams of shit, you're the worst looking ones out there. Like, if you really had this information and it made that much of a difference, you should get your body to change like they do. But you can't. Dan Duchesne's a perfect example. The guy knew a whole ton about the drugs. A lot of people went to him. Well, when he passed away, the physiques got even better. It wasn't like he was the one feeding them all the information. He understood what they did in a pharmacological aspect, but he was experimenting on people. So even he didn't know what it was. And even he couldn't get his own body to grow. He died, I mean, the biggest he ever was maybe 180 pounds. So, you know, it's not necessarily the more knowledge about these drugs. The knowledge about these drugs really is about medicine. There really isn't knowledge about these drugs for creating a bodybuilder. So when these guys get on here and they start breaking things down, they're literally talking out of their ass. They're taking information that they've already heard somewhere else and regurgitating it like they know, and they do it for views. And, you know, again, I'm not going to point fingers and shots fired, but I'm going to be real. You know, and this person can take it or leave it for whatever it is. We can talk about Boston Light all we want. You know, Boston supposedly knows about all these drugs. He can parrot back a lot of things he's read, but does he really understand them? Then why wasn't he able to create the physique that he claimed he was going to, that he promised he was going to? There are guys that have blown right by him and accomplished the goals he wanted to accomplish without even knowing anything about the things. Meanwhile, he knows everything about them and confessed himself he did a full year-long cycle of growth hormone and peptides, taking multiple shots per day, and gained no muscle within that year. So realistically, is it the knowledge of what you're taking? Is it learning how to combine them? Or is it just making sure that you take what you need to take in as the basics, let them do their job, eat, train, and then let your body grow? That's all it is. It's literally a stimulus, food to make it recover, the drugs to make it all work better. And it is not a super scientific thing. I mean, 99% of you out there, you know, you plan out these fucking crazy cycles. And then you buy all these fucking crazy things, and half of them aren't even real, and you don't even realize it. Half of them don't even have anything in them. Half of them have other things in them that you don't even know is in them. But yet you're out there like, well, this many, and you have all these reasons for it, right? These reasons. Go ask the top guys. Well, they're probably not going to tell you. But even if you were able to be around the top guys, they don't know all those milligrams and shit. Many of them, like back in the day, would say, take 2 cc's, 3 cc's, or whatever. They would build upon the cc's and not the milligrams. They didn't even know how many milligrams they were taking. They had no clue. It didn't matter. They didn't need to know it. Yet you have these people that are experts, quasi-experts, that sit down and map out, well, this person's taking this. I've seen the ones where they're like, well, The Rock is taking this. Look, I've never heard The Rock ever come out and say he took anything. He said he took it when he was 18 and never took anything again because he didn't like it. So it's a speculation thing. These people are acting like experts. Now my question is, what makes them an expert? They live in a time where drugs are plentiful, but they're not real. It's all this black market stuff. They don't know how much they're taking. They've come up with so many cockamamie schemes and ideas about how to combine these things. The physiques do not look better. They don't grow faster. They themselves, the ones that are reporting this stuff, don't look good, haven't got gains from it. But they're reporting to you, and you guys eat it up like crazy. You know, don't get me wrong. There are guys out there that are experimenting like Tony Huge. And Tony will tell you, look, this is an experiment. I'm not really sure. It's supposed to do this. The theory is this. The theory is that. And he says that. He doesn't say, well, this is definitely like this, and I know this. It's like, well, the theory is. And then he tests the theory to see what happens. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, it doesn't. At least he's honest about what he's doing. Or these other guys claim that they know. I mean, there are people out there say, well, Dorian took this, Dorian took that. You don't know what Dorian took. He said what he took during certain competitions, and you didn't believe him. Well, this one takes this. Lee Priest said what he took. You don't believe him. You know, Kevin Levrone said what he took. You don't believe him. Like, everything they say, you don't believe him. Like, you're the experts, but you can't produce anything close to what they did. Like, that's what gets me. Like, if you claim to really know what they did, you should be able to replicate it with your own physique or someone else's physique, and you can't do it. People like Boston that claim to know everything about it, they haven't replicated anything like what these pros look like at all. Despite all the quote-unquote knowledge, which is just parroting and regurgitation of what they see online from other people already, there are people that I would say know a lot more about the training and the diet. People like John Meadows that, yeah, they get results. I mean, do they use stuff? Yeah. Do they admit to it? Yeah. But these guys are really, really, really intense about their training and their diet. So it's like they don't put the emphasis on the gear because they truly know that, hey, look, there's not much we can do with this. We can either just take one of these things, take 2 of these things, take 5 of these things. Whatever they're going to do, they're going to do. In my body, they may do one thing. In your body, they may do something else. We don't even fucking know until you do it. Right? So people try to... I think it's really this basic knowledge that you need of this stuff. And the basics have been thrown out the window. And by making it too complicated, I think that's when people are going to get hurt. People are going to start doing things that they don't realize that are not really being done out there in the real world because someone has it in their head that combining this like this because they read something online and this person said something and it was like in another language but it was translated and maybe some words were wrong and they interpreted it wrong. Like, I'm sitting here going, you guys don't really know because there really is no research, no studies. It's not out there. It's never happened. So it's all an experiment. I mean, at least be real about it and say, look, you know, I don't really know what this guy takes, but the way he looks, this is what I would think it would be. Then at least it makes it like an opinion and not a fact. Not like you know exactly what they're taking. If somebody's never come out and said they took anything, you coming out and saying, well, this is what I think they take, is just speculation, period. Michael Horn's a perfect example. All the time, Mike takes this, Mike takes that, Mike takes Michael Trend, they call him, right? For Mike to look the way he does, he'd have to be on trend year-round for 35 years. He'd be dead. Like, so you don't really know. Like, you speculate because in your head you think you know, and you want to have an excuse as to why O'Hearn looks so good compared to you and anybody you know. I mean, let's be real. If you haven't seen him in person, you'd shit yourself if you saw him in person. And you can't comprehend how he looks like that without taking Trend. And for some reason, Trend got the big push like in the last 5-6 years, maybe even going back further. Trend was like the king, the golden nectar of the gods. They called it all this bullshit. Well, where's all the great physiques with all the Trend? What I see is a bunch of guys out there dieting like fucking crazy, doing tons of cardio. They get in shape, only to have someone point at them and say it's Trend. That's not necessarily true. Could they be taking it? Yeah. Is it making a difference? Possibly. Is it making this dramatic difference that it completely reshapes their physique and makes them a pro? No, it doesn't. Like, that's just a fact. And until you get there and do it yourself, you don't know that. You listen to these idiots on the internet. Look, unless they've built a pro physique, literally built a pro physique, been pro size, like we're talking 260, 270 pounds. They've dealt with real pharmaceuticals from the real pharmaceutical companies. and they've been around these real pros where the real pros have helped them grow, have given them some of these tips, and they're not even secrets, they're tips, then these people are just speculating as to what they know. They're basically telling you on camera what they're reading in forums. And we all know how well that works out, the forums, right? I mean, there's so much bullshit going on in forums that you don't know who anybody is. We've had people that were supposed experts that have really fucked people up because they think they understand what they're talking about, and they don't, right? Because there was nobody to check them and tell them, like, look, cut the shit. You really don't understand what the fuck you're talking about. Like, it doesn't work like that, and it never has, and who knows if it ever will. But if it ever got broken down to how this stuff would be combined and explained, it would have to be studied in an actual medical setting. It would have to be done like that. Otherwise, it is literally just speculation. You can have 10 people taking the same 10 things. The blood work will all come out different. Their results will be all different. But hey, according to you, this is how the pros do it. They all do this, they do that, and that's how they get their physiques to look like that. Meanwhile, you don't see them eating like 10 pounds of chicken a week. You don't see them eating like 3 or 4 10-pound bags of rice a week, forcing 1,000 grams of carbs in their body in the off-season to grow. You don't see them doing cardio year-round to make sure that their bodies are not getting too crazy body fat-wise. You know, you're not seeing these things where in the gym, and they're doing everything they can to get one more fucking rep out of their workout. Like, you're not talking about or seeing any of that shit. You're just talking about the bottle that they hold up. And I'm like, does it play a part in it? Yes. Is it the be-all, end-all? No. Do you know what the fuck they're doing? Even if they told you what they were doing, you still don't understand how it works because they don't understand how it works. They put it together that way because somebody probably told them and they started experimenting, and that's what they wound up like, but they still don't know how it works. So be aware, guys. Yes, people take stuff. They're going to take stuff. And even though they can ramble off a lot of stuff that sounds scientific and medical, doesn't mean they actually know what the fuck is going on or how this stuff works. Or, most of all, my point through this whole video, knows how to be safe with it. Can this stuff be done safely? We've seen it done. Can it be done not safely where it can affect you? Yes, we've seen that too. Do these people who all of a sudden think that they're doctors, scientists, they think they're fucking coaches, they think they know everything about these drugs, do they have the information to keep you safe? Possibly. Is it more likely that they don't? Yes. It is more likely they're taking stupid information from a forum. And mark my words, we see it with Boston Lloyd now with the kidney problems that he's having. Someone is going to get hurt bad, and they're going to wind up suing somebody. It's going to wind up going completely south. All it takes is one person to get affected by this stuff. From that person that acts, you know, everybody thinks he's so cool because he's talking about how to use this stuff. And next thing you know, this whole world is in a world of hurt because they say, well, this stuff can obviously kill you. It obviously is bad for you. We need to put the clamp down on this because it's spreading throughout the internet. And what happens with that? Law enforcement gets involved and then we're in deep shit again, just like Operation Raw Deal, Operation Gear Grinder, and all this other shit that's going on that many of you have forgotten or you weren't even involved in this shit when that stuff was going down. So be aware, guys. Don't be fucking stupid. There's a lot of people on, and don't even take my word for it. Go look for yourself. Watch these videos with these guys and realize that they don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They have no concept of what the fuck they're talking about. It is a very basic thing. You take, again, not giving anybody any medical advice. There's an androgen, and anabolic injectables, and there's anabolic and androgen tablets. That's what you're working with. Anything beyond that is fluff bullshit of somebody trying to convince you that you need them to grow, need them to get bigger. I'd say if you really need anything, you need to watch your training and diet, throw that stuff in there, and when it all works together, then you'll see what's going on. You don't need that other person for anything. BioStrengthTraining@gmail.com. Leave comments down below, but don't fight. BioStrength.com is a blog. It's the simple basics bicep, and we are out.